very great morning to you watching Western Television, wherever you're catching the show live from. You're most welcome. Today is Monday, 15th of May, 2023. My name is Denis, and it's already 21 minutes past the hour of 7 a.m. Wherever you're catching you live Western Television from, a great morning to you. If you're following us live on Zuko Satellite channel 0073, we thank you very much. And those who are catching us live on Star Times channel 477, we thank you as well. And those who are catching us live using the YouTube, the Facebook, and also getting the updates from the Twitter handle of Western Television, we thank you very much. And we thank you for joining us this morning. And I'm here to give you every information that you need to know. Some of the updates are from different parts of our country, Uganda, starting right from Western Sub-region, and also knowing what is happening in the Ashuli sub-region as well, and also other regions that we have in our country, Uganda. I will be able to give you every information that you need to know, because remember, we are just coming back from the weekend that started right from Friday, Saturday, and also a Sunday. And so you have to know that last week it was on Friday that the International Nurses Day was commemorated, and for the national celebration for our country, Uganda, was right here at Muni University, where we had different, representatives of the nurses who from different areas that we have in our country, Uganda, different districts. They were here in Arua, and the celebration was at Muni University. The person who represented the President of the Republic of Uganda in the commemoration of the International Nurses Day was the State Minister for Health, that is Anifa Kawoya, who was right here. And she was able also to really appreciate very much the nurses for their continuous, support that they give to the government of the Republic of Uganda, despite the fact that there are issues here and there that are supposed to be harmonized between the government of the Republic of Uganda and the Uganda Nurses and Midwives Union or Council that we do have here in our country, Uganda, and it's being led by the president, that is that other than that is Shirop Justus right there. And so according to Justus Shirop, who is the president of the Uganda Nurses and Midwives Council, he did say that they have tried their level best to say that government of the Republic of Uganda increases the the salary for the nurses that we do have here in our country, Uganda, and also other benefits that the nurses are supposed to really enjoy. Talking about the accommodation of nurses and different health facilities that we do have. And also, as Uganda Nurses and Midwives Council, they have also achieved, at the level of the council, they are seeing that the welfare of the nurses are really improved. And so if a person is a member of Uganda Nurses and Midwives Council, there are some benefits that this person get. If he or she dies, what they always do is to accord him or her a decent send-off, and also ensuring that these nurses, they really go for further studies as well. And also they see that when the person is seriously ill, they really, refer him to those hospitals that manage special cases. And so these are some of the issues that the president of the Uganda Nurses and Midwives Council, that is not other than Shirop Justus, was able to mention. He, however, says that they are in talks with the government of the Republic of Uganda to see that nurses, the specialized nurses, not hospital nurses, that is university, is really, put up here in our country, Uganda, because it says that majority of the nurses, they do obtain, that is the degree in nursing, but after degree in nursing, a person is supposed to specialize. And it becomes a little bit challenging for the nurses that we have in our country, Uganda, when it comes to, going with further with their education in regards to the discipline that they are in. And so they say that they have reached the government of the Republic of Uganda through the Ministry of Health, and this has been really worked on. And you have to know that the government of the Republic of Uganda in 2019 came out with the idea, came out with the plan of setting up, that is specialized nurses university right here in our country, Uganda, nursing university. But I do not know what has really happened. I was reading somewhere that they were supposed to look for a fund for funding, but unfortunately they could not really get that funding by that particular time. Excuse me. But COVID-19 also came in, affected them, and so I think that is one of the things that you need to know, that government got affected with COVID-19, because the plan came in 2019, and from 2019 to 2020 they were supposed to put up this particular, specialized nursing university here in our country, Uganda, but they could not really get that funding. And I believe that since we are recovering from COVID-19, government of the Republic of Uganda will be able to really get some money and see that they set up this particular, nursing university to really help our nurses who are here in our country, Uganda, to further with their education. Is something that you need to know in regards to that. And so that is one thing. And then let's get to Nebi. That over the weekend on Saturday, it was massive for the Alur people. It was a moment of coming together and celebrating the cultural heritage that we do have. And so we do appreciate very much the organizers, the Alur Kingdom, for really seeing that the event go down in history. And so it was the first of its kind, having the cultural festival. And one thing that I loved about cultural festival, and I love about the people of Alur Kingdom, they are peace-loving people. And for that one day that I was also part of the event, let me tell you that issues to do with security was so perfect. And thank you very much, the security personnel headed by the resident district commissioner of Nebi, together with other sister security organizations that are there in Nebi. Thank you very much for according the people of Nebi, the people of Alur Kingdom, the security that they needed for that time that they were celebrating their culture. And so that is the way to go. And it was a very, very nice moment, having people dancing to their cultural performances, and it was a nice one. And so thank you very much for the peace-loving people, and thank you very much for the organizers, and thank you very much for each and every person who was part and parcel of the event that went down in Nebi. And so for me, what I love the most is that, is people living in peace, and that is what people want to see. And we thank very much the King of Alur, and that is none other than His Royal Highness Obimo Olarke Philip III, who was in attendance to grace the occasion. And it was a nice moment seeing his subjects dancing to the cultural performances that were really displayed right there, talking about Ndara, talking about Agwara, and talking about other performances as well. And so that is the way to go. If we talk about peace, if there are people who are really peace-loving and they really understand the meaning of life, let me tell you, the Alur people are one of those groups of people who cannot really, let it just go like that without them, having that happy moment where they come together, they celebrate their culture, and that is the way to go. And I think if that can be, carried on each and every year, and then this will also send very strong messages to our young ones who are growing up, because what we need now is upholding the cultural values. Remember, we are getting mixed into the issues of the world. Here we are hearing issues to do with the anti-homosexuality. We are talking about homosexuality in our country, Uganda. And then what is the cultural institutions doing? And so we need to always come together and we communicate to the people, we educate the people, we continue to sensitize the people. And I call upon the political leaders that we have in our country, Uganda, to always give support to such organizations, supporting the cultural institutions, supporting the religious institutions, because what is so important and so much needed now is sensitization of the masses, getting rid of the wrong elements that are trying to confuse our people. And that is what we need to really guard against. We should not be our people should not be intoxicated with things that confuses and things that cannot really cannot go down well with our cultural values. And so at this juncture, allow me to thank the President of the Republic of Uganda for being strong on the issue of homosexuality in our country, Uganda, and also the Speaker of Parliament of the Republic of Uganda, who has always been standing, strong and on our feet on the issues of homosexuality, saying no to homosexuality in our country, Uganda. And so the cultural institutions can really help a lot in sensitizing, in educating the subjects right there. And this should also be embraced by all the cultural institutions that we have here. West Nile being a unique sub-region that we have in our country, Uganda. Remember, we have different cultures, and so we have the Alur, we have the Lugbaras, we have the Kakwa, we have the Aringa people, and also we have the Madi. And so these are different cultural institutions, people of different cultural, institutions right there. And so if their cultural leaders can also embrace this, it's important that they should always come together once in a while to get to understand what is happening and get to understand, get to socialize, and that is a moment. And so the Aluru people who are here in Nebi, not in Nebi, I mean who are here in Arua, they were able to go in big numbers. And big up to each and every person who was able to take part for that event. And also allow me to thank very much the management of Western Television for always associating with the cultural institutions that we have here in Western Sub-region, and we are here to light up the region. And remember, some of these cultural performances and also the cultural values were not known earlier on, and so Western Television has also come to make the cultural values or the people of West Nile is also known to the outside world, and that is the way to go. And so that is something that I felt it is important that I should also be able to bring to your attention in regards to what exactly happened over the weekend. And do not forget also on Saturday the slain member of parliament for that is Oyam North, retired Kano, Patrick Charles Engola Mashudogo, was also laid to rest, and people were really in big numbers during the time that he was being sent off. And so may his soul rest in eternal peace. And the souls of those who departed away from us continue to rest in eternal peace as well. As we wait for our time as well, all of us, we are on a journey, and nobody can really run away from that. And that is one of the mystery that we need to always have it in our mind, that we are not really permanent on this particular world. And so they always say that this is not our home, and so our home is in heaven, and we believe the heaven is there, that one day we shall also be able to see our Father and the Creator, the person who is always with us and protecting us and giving us all the guidance and also the strength for us to do each and everything. And so for those who have woken up this morning and you're planning to go to your different places of work, allow me to tell you that do what you can do, because time will come that you will not be able to do, and that is the fact that we cannot run away from. And so once you have the energy and you have been given the opportunity to do something, make sure that you use the whole energy that you have in you so that it brings out something tangible for the society. Well, for the leaders, let us be leaders for the people, not leaders for ourselves, because you are leading people, and that's why you are called a leader. And so a leader cannot lead himself, but a leader is supposed to lead a group of people. And so if you always put yourself that you are a leader of the people, then you will be making decisions on behalf of the people in consultation, and that fact need not to be rubbed off. And so this morning, allow me to tell you, if you're a leader in this country, you're a leader in this world, remember you have people behind you that you're leading. And so how exemplary are you in your leadership? Are you a kind of a leader whose work is to confuse and cause a state of quagmire in a society? That is not the way to go. As a leader, you should always think about the people. Are you leading the people with what you are really reaching at by yourself, or you are trying to lead the people the way the people want you to lead them? And so we should bear in mind such as we continue to deliver. And you have to know that it's already 25 minutes to the top of the hour, 8 a.m. right on Western Television. Let's go for a break, and when we come back, we still have more for you this morning, as I will be diving into what we have in the dailies today and also what is happening outside Uganda. We will be able to get to tell you what is happening in Sudan. Remember, 2 weeks ago, a month now, that Sudan went into a state of confusion. And it was exactly, I think, 15th of April that Sudan got into a state of confusion. And so 1 month down the road, what is happening right now? Are the people in that country recovering? Is there some state of improvement in terms of security and also peace? And so these are issues that we shall also be able to look into that. I remember in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, the commander who was commanding the joint forces in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo wrote a resignation letter, and he's a Kenyan officer. So we would also be able to understand, is it a normal situation now in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo in terms of pacification of that particular area in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, right there. My name is Denis, and this is Kokoliriko live on Western Television. We are coming to you live from the broadcast house here in Arua City, plot at 9A Weatherhead Park Lane, where you can get us exactly. And so if you want to do business with us, we're just right here. You can really walk over and we have a discussion on how we can promote ourselves, promoting Western Television, promoting your business as well. And because without people knowing what you do, without people knowing what you deal in, it becomes very hard for you to become a successful business person. When you talk about a business persons like Patrick Bitature, one of the successful business men we have in our country, Uganda, he believed in advertisement, and that's why he is considered to be one of the successful business persons that we have in our country, Uganda. And so you too, you can as well be successful if you do advertise your business with Western Television. And those are people who believe in the power of advertisement, because they know that with advertisement you will be able to have more people joining in that network of your business, and that is what you can really do. Thank you very much. Let's go for a break, and we will be coming back and giving you more information right there. Good morning.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
Get more for less on Star Times this Easter season. Cartoon channel for best children entertainment. New global series. Local drama on Merkula TV and football all around the world. Simply make weekly or monthly subscription and enjoy upgrade to the next bouquet. For classic or super bouquet customers, subscribe for a month and enjoy 5 days extra. Family time with Star Times. Star Times is regulated by UCC.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
All right, a very great morning to you. I'll be back. You're still watching West Nile Television. My name is Denis. All right, dear viewer, it's already 20 minutes to the top of the hour. That is 8 a.m. But on a sad note, this morning, dear viewer, I think it is also really quite unfortunate. Allow me to let you know that this is confirmed from one of the authentic sources that we do have. This happened that I think yesterday, I beg to be corrected, the burial for Ngola was on Saturday, but unfortunately, the members from that is the in-law side of retired Colonel Charles Ngola late, who went for the burial. There are people from Oluko here in Arua City who went for a burial of late, that is Honorable Charles Ngola. They got accident near Ayago Bridge, and 2 persons have been confirmed dead and others have been critically injured, and they have been taken to Anaka hospital that is in Nwaya district. And this is on a sad note right there. And so as the people of West Nile, we continue also to mourn for the death of these 2 persons who have passed on, and we pray for those who are in the hospital in Anaka to really, get well, and they join the rest of their family members right there. And so that is something that I felt it is important I should be able to bring to your your attention. And I have to tell you that here in Oluko, at the home of the in-laws of that is late Charles Ngola, people are really mourning the death of the 2 members who passed on right there. And so it's quite unfortunate, dear viewer, that I will be able to give you a breath of every information that is taking place right that side. And I know it is quite unfortunate that it do happen, and it also happened in that way. And so we believe that all will be well. And so that is something that is you have to know. You have to know also that Arua City also reported the killing of a security guard by unknown gunmen around Arua Primary. The deceased works with Security Group Africa, that is SGI, and he was guarding, that is Novafina Medical Center, and met his death around, that is 2:30 a.m. right there. So it is quite unfortunate, and I believe that the police will be able to really, beef up security here in Arua. And so Arua being a city, we continue to register cases of, gunmen causing havoc and causing insecurity in our region. Is quite unfortunate right there. Let's get to that is Moyo district, where community members and stakeholders in Moyo district have raised the concerns about electoral reforms ahead of the next general election. And so the members raised their concerns during a meeting that was organized by West Nile, that is Regional Civil Society Network for different stakeholders and members of the public in Moyo People's Hall. And so the meeting attracted people from different sectors, including religious leaders, cultural leaders, press, political parties, among others. Feni Tribe, the Chief Executive Officer for West Nile Regional Civil Society Network, said the purpose of the meeting is to allow the members of the society raise their concerns so that they can be corrected before the next general elections. Honorable, that is Anyama Williams, the LC5 chairperson, Moyo District, said he supports the restoration of term limits for all that is elective positions, and should only be 2 terms unless the person wants to vie for another position apart from the one he or she has been holding. And this is from the LC5 chairperson of Moyo District, who gave in his submission in regards to the electoral reforms that the West Nile Civil Society Network is trying to get from the wananchi of this country. And so that before 2026, there are certain things that are really worked on, so that we don't continue to read from the same script, we continue to watch from the same arena. When it comes to political games that are being played in our country, Uganda. And so currently things are still normal, but wait, 2025, as we get to 2026, you will see the script will be changing to the old script of having the security personnel using all the forces that they do have to see that they really, affect other parties that are involved in the elections in this country. And so if people are given the space to speak their mind, it is good that their mind should be read, and issues that they raise should be worked on, because if they do not do that, it really makes us to read from the same script. And so the LC5 chairperson has said that he really supports the restoration of term limits for all elective positions, and should only be 2 terms unless the person wants to vie for another position, not the one that he has been serving. And so Iga Poli, the FDC chairman, that is Boyo, said the police and army should not be involved in elections. And that is him. Police and the army should not be involved in the election in this country, but they can only be called upon to quell a situation of insecurity that may arise. And so that should be the point that we should really have at the back of our mind. And that is him. I do not know what you say in regards to this. All the opinions can be subjected for debate, and so you can also disagree or agree with him on the reasons that you know best right there. And so Chandiga Thiza, who is the LC3 person, Moyo, a town council said there is need for Uganda to have an independent electoral commission not being appointed by the President of the Republic of Uganda. And this has also been another issue in our country, Uganda, in regards to election. People tend to say that if electoral commission chairperson is continued to be appointed by the President of the Republic of Uganda, that will really affect the independence of the electoral body right there. And so they feel that once you are appointed by somebody, what are you supposed to do? You have to give back to the person who has given you position. And so people in our country, Uganda, they always, say that the election in Uganda, it is only in favor of the President of the Republic of Uganda because the chairperson electoral commission is appointed by the President of the Republic of Uganda, and so you cannot disagree with your appointing officer who has will appoint you. And so they tend to say that the reason why the election in our country, Uganda, is being, viewed like that is because the Electoral Commission chairperson is appointed by the President of the Republic of Uganda. So there's a chairperson, the town council is trying to say that no, Electoral Commission should not be appointed by the President. And so if there's another commission that can be instituted to really, appoint the Electoral Commission or vet the Electoral Commission, a chairperson, that will be a good one. Sekamwa Julian, the Deputy Resident District Commissioner of Boyo, said most politicians don't educate their supporters about the importance of having national identity cards, forgetting that it is a prerequisite for voting. That's why most of the politicians complain of that is getting less votes, yet they have a big supporters. And so not each and every person that run after you is a voter. There are many young people who do not have national IDs. I confirmed this recently here at the NIRA offices right here in Arua, where a number of people were able to go to get their national ID. That tells you that there are very many people who have not registered, and they are not known by the government of the Republic of Uganda in terms of numbers. And so we have to encourage our people. If you want to vie for any political position in our country, Uganda, what you have to do is you have to really sensitize the people who you think will be able to vote for you, to always have the prerequisite for voting. And the Electoral Commission always tell you what you're supposed to do, what you're supposed to have for you to be part and parcel of the voting in our country, Uganda. How many politicians do this to encourage more people join their camps to vote? It's not about giving them 1,000, but it's about sensitizing them, the importance of voting. Are they aware that members of parliament that we do send to parliament, they are the one in charge of running the affairs of this country? Are they aware that the issues of corruption and everything that do happen here, they do happen at the close watch of these members of parliament and the leaders that we do elect? And are they aware that some of these elected leaders do connive with the technical officers to steal public fund, the fund that is supposed to be used for improving the status of the health facilities, to improve the status of the roads, to improve the status of our schools? Are they aware? So if they're not aware, we have to embark on this. Civic education is supposed to be done by, that is Uganda Human Rights. I do not know whether they have enough budget that can really cater for that, because They always have that complaint. The other time during the same engagement organized by Western Civil Society Network, when I was able to ask the officer in charge of the regional offices of Uganda Human Rights Commission here, he did say that they don't have enough money to do the civic, education in regards to the election, and that's why sometimes it becomes very hard to really, have the expectations reached. And so they say that if government can really, advance more money towards civic education, that would be a good one. But apart from, having the Uganda Human Rights Commission and together with the Electoral Commission joining hands together to see that civic education, voters education is really, done properly, the politicians and also the other civil society organizations should really come on board. And I love what the West Nile Civil Society Network is doing to really sensitize and educate the people earlier, so that when we get towards the 2026, we are able to know what we are supposed to do and what we are not supposed to do. And the conversation should really continue. And that is something that I need to bring to your attention this morning. And so catch more of these details during the 7 p.m. news Nilecast right there on Western Television with Christian Okomoringa later on in the evening. And so that is what I can really bring to your attention as a quick mention of what you need to know here in our country, Uganda. Let us get to what we have in the daily today, and 9 minutes to the top of the hour of 8 a.m. right on Western Television. I will be diving to give you what is happening in the Daily Monitor and also in the New Vision right this morning. And let's start with Daily Monitor this morning. There are stories that you need to know. There's a story that brings to your attention how killer policeman was struck, arrested at the border. And so remember, a 30-year-old policeman was a 30-year-old that is Police Constable Ivan Wabire, a key suspect in the fatal shooting of a moneylander of Indian descent at Raja Chambers on Parliamentary Avenues in Kampala last Friday, has been arrested right there. And so he was arrested yesterday while fleeing to the neighboring Kenya through Busia border. At the time of his arrest by operatives of Flying Squad and Crime Intelligence led commanded by Busia District Police Commander Didas Biarhanga, Wabire had reportedly been making phone calls to a female companion he was expected to meet at the Busia, Kenya County Stadium right there. And so Wabire, 30 years old, is said to have walked into TFS Financial Services and shot Otam Bandri, who was the director, multiple times before fleeing the scene. At about 12:30 p.m. yesterday, you have to know that Wabire was taken out of Busia, police station through the back door to a waiting, white, police double cabin truck and driven amidst tight security to Kampala, where he committed the offense right there. And so that is something that you need to know in regards to the shooting that took place in Kampala, where, this police constable, Ivan Wabire, was able to shoot the Indian business person right there. And so that is what you need to know that we have in the Daily Monitor. Still on the story of Colonel Engola's in-laws perished in accident. I have to give you the full details here that two in-laws of the late Minister Charles Okel Engola Mashidugu yesterday perished in an accident at Ayago in Masishon Falls Park, that is in Waya district, while returning from the burial ceremony. So the in-laws and other mourners were returning from the burial of late minister who was killed by his bodyguard on May 12th. And so Minister Engola was buried at his ancestral home at Awangi village, Isheme sub-county in Oyam district on Saturday. Several mourners had traveled from Arua to Oyam for the burial. And so late Minister Engola was married to, that is Joyce Engola, who hails from Oluko Ward in Arua City. The couple were preparing to wed by the end of this year. And so the deceased have been identified as Dina Tiperu Fayoa and a boy who is commonly known as Deia. They were residents of Ibirisel in Oluko Ward, East Division, Arua City, right there. I think a neighborhood right there. And so may their souls rest in a lot of peace. The Member of Parliament for Ivo East Division, Geoffrey Feta, said they lost two occupants of the tipper lorry. Two critical cases have been referred to Gulu, and one is already in transit but on oxygen. He added that referring the survivors to Arua Regional Referral Hospital will be tricky since they may not make it to Arua due to bad road conditions and distance involved right there. So that is one of the unfortunate issue right there. The issue of the bad roads that connect us with the rest of the country, especially the people of West Nile. I believe that the government of the Republic of Uganda is working on that very well. So the bodies were transported to Anaha Hospital mortuary for postmortem. 3 other mourners were in critical condition, while 5 survivors have been transferred to Lasho Hospital right there. May their souls rest in the eternal peace, especially for those who have really perished and they are no more. While for those who are in the hospitals, we pray for them as well. And so that is what you need to know here in West Nile, that we are mourning, the death of this person. Okay. You have to know that over 140 prisons officers have been promoted. This is what has really come out. So President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has appointed and promoted senior officers in the prison service. And so at least 141 senior officers were promoted. Quoting from that is the Commissioner General of the Prisons, that's none other than Dr. Johnson, that is Biaruba Shaija, who says that His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, under Article 172, subsection 1 of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda, and also Uganda's, Section 10C of the Prisons Act 2006, and on the advice of the Prison Authority, has promoted and appointed and promoted a total of 141 senior prisons officers to various ranks. A May 12 press statement signed off by Commissioner General of Prisons, that is Johnson right there. And so, according to the press statement, the promotions to the ranks of Assistant Commissioner General of Prisons, Senior Commissioner of Prisons, and Commissioner of Prison take effects from that is the 29th. So the statement added that the promotions to marks of Assistant Commissioners of Prisons, Senior Superintendent of Prisons, Superintendent of Prisons, Senior Assistant Superintendent of Prisons, and Assistant Superintendent of that is Prison take effects from April that is 1st. And so appointment on local contracts as Assistant Commissioner General of Prison, we have John Bosco Tumwebaze, Milton Tio, Robert Munanura, Hilary Bithanga, George Nuge. And so appointment on promotion to Senior Commissioners of Prison, we have Judas Tadeo, Kalisa, Wilson Francis Magamu, Frank Mayanja Baine, and then Julius Aloka. And so finally, Commissioner, that is Frank Baine, who is the spokesperson for Uganda Prisons, has been promoted to Senior Commissioner of Prison already. And so congratulations to him. He's one of the friendly persons when it comes to getting information from him, as the person who speaks on behalf of the Uganda Prisons Service. Right there. Appointment on promotion to Commissioner of Prisons, we have Moses Sentalo, Edson Tumuriamye, Alex Mukolo Oloka, Stella Nabunya, and then Brenda Sana, Jacob Kivumbi, Alex Ben Simon, Wansada, Apollo Bakwate, Kakunda, Prosi, Geraldine Najuma, Kenneth Nagwire, and Agri Turemwanmire, Alio Natukunda. And so these are the people who have been appointed to that is Commissioner of Prisons right there. Appointment on promotion to Assistant Commissioner of Prisons, we have Mary Centenary, Ronald Kalali, Robert, that is Kine Tebigwayo, Christopher Okware, Francis Xavier Elubu, Festo Sambia, Mary Tamale, Christine Peace Okot Babire, Juliet Betty Semogere, Onan Kosasira. And so these are the new appointees to that is Assistant Commissioner of Prisons. And then appointment on promotion to Senior Superintendent of Prisons, we have Henry Kidega, Charles Rugasira, Felix Mugasha. We have also Rosa Kitimbo, Joseph Otai, Lawrence Oshoke, William Patrick Awany, Godfrey Walakira, Martin Lohum, Lakonyero, Madina, Nabagala, Jovan Ben Ocean. We have also Geoffrey Natatobona, Mageni, John Baptist Magenda, that is Anna Kiatukire, Godfrey Mutumba, Simon Mayende, Jimmy Angozu, Lilia Kesh, Wilson Roberts, Mokwasi, and then Walter Atuzo. And so we also have other officers as well. And so there are many officers who have been, appointed on promotion to superintendent of prisons. There are very many. And so you can get yourself today's Daily Monitor, and you'll be able to get the full details of this appointment that has been made by President of the Republic of Uganda, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. And also you have to know that judiciary also appoints 42 officers. It's also another good news. I think this is the time for the appointment, this particular time. So should we expect also the list of ministers who will be reshuffled? I think very soon. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni will also be able to release the list right there. And so I think we are still hearing the officers from different government ministries, departments are being appointed here. And so we have also judiciary appointing 42 officers right there. And so the Judicial Service Commission has, in a recruitment exercise, appointed 42 judicial officers. Those appointed include 14 deputy registrars, 8 deputy registrars, and 20 chief magistrates in acting capacity for 1 year, bringing the total number of recruits to 42. And so this is according to the letter that has been seen from the Judicial Service Commission right there. At the time sitting, the commission also appointed 22 court clerks and 33 office attendants, is what also you need to know. Those appointed deputy registrars are Agnes Alum, Samuel Olumu, Francis Matenga Dawa, Faisal Omar, Mulaliram, Jane Mugala, Sarah Tusime, Busaija Burunji, Leo Karunji, Patricia Amoko, Muhumuza Emmy, Godfrey Saekwo, Robert Mukanza Didas, Muhumuza Didas, Jessica Shemerey, George Obong, Josephine Kayondo, and Josephine Kabasunzinguzi. Assistant registrars include, that is Oliver Nantamu, Helen Endimu, Jude Okumu, Wowome, Emmanuel Bamite, Dorothy Kampehaire, Nasif Omar Mubiru, Krista Namutebi, Maureen Eunice Ijang. The newly appointed chief magistrates include Hood Matovu Agnes Ashelga, Natawo Joan Asha Keti, Lydia Kabeda, Geoffrey Kunahira, Paulo Matiamna, Moses Moshajabebe Nabede, and Shikoya Nahume. And so these are some of the things that you need to know right there. So the majority of the appointees are already judicial officers in different positions in the judiciary and have been elevated. Other appointees come from the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, Inspectorate of Government, Law Development Center, and Private practice, among other ministries, departments, and agencies of the government right there. And so that is something that you need to know that is judiciary right there. We still have schools fundraisings unsustainable, says Nabanja, is something that you need to know. And also you have to know that a new Masaka Regional Kadhi installed promises to support government programs right there. You have to know that Brunei Sultan to set up, that is a $200 million varsity in memory of Amin, is the news that is coming through here, that a gentleman called Brunei Sultan is looking forward to really setting up a university in memory of Amin that will cost $200 million right there. And so the Kingdom of Brunei is planning to set up a university in Uganda in memory of former President Idi Amin Dada. According to one of the promoters of the $200 million, that's about 747 billion Ugandan shillings university project, while on a trip to Kuwait in the 1970s, President Amin held a meeting with the filthy rich king of Brunei, Hassan al-Bolkiah ibn Omar Ali Saifuddin III, who agreed to fund a university that would advance research and Islamic theology teaching in Uganda. And so, quoting here from Ali Amin, one of the sons of former President Amin, said in an interview on Saturday, he says here that however, President Amin was overthrown before the project could start. Now the Bruneian king has agreed to kickstart the process of constructing the university. That is Ali Amin, who is one of the sons of the former president of the Republic of Uganda, Idi Amin right there. Ali, who currently lives in Kenya, said the family is in contact with the Brunei Kingdom officials to ensure the project succeeds. And so a delegation from Brunei, led by, that is Muhammad Abdul Rahman, the Minister for Religious Affairs in the Kingdom, is currently in Uganda to fast-track the university project. And so last week, the team inspected some pieces of land in Mkozi, Mpiji district to check its sustainability its suitability for hosting the university right there. So he said this team is now searching for another piece of land measuring that is 22 acres within Kampala city is also another good news. I think for the people of West Nile, it sounds to us as a good news that Brunei Sultan to really put up this university in memory of Amin, who was one of the sons of West Nile. And as West Nile people, we are proud if Brunei Sultan is really remembering the contribution of the former president of the Republic of Uganda, late Amin Dada, right there. And so we continue to pray that the project succeeds here in our country, Uganda. And so I believe it will not be turned political by some political leaders that we have in this country, Uganda. And this is just to recognize the contributions that somebody was able to make. And it's always good to recognize the contribution of somebody to the development of this particular country. We are here. Stop delaying cases expecting money, Justice Dolo tells judicial officers. Stop delaying cases and expecting money because you delay cases and you want money. And so Justice Alfonso Windolo is cautioning judicial officers against delaying cases, saying it causes case backlog and wastes people's time and resources. So while commissioning the 1.3 billion Mukono High Court building last week, the Chief Justice said judicial officers should stop delaying cases, hoping to get money from people involved in those cases. And so quoting him saying, "You don't have to be nasty. You should be firm, and it is only because of you that people will have faith and justice in the country here. Stop keeping people waiting for you. If you are not available, inform the registrar before 8 a.m. so that by 9 a.m. they are informed and leave court premises to do something else." Justice Owindol urged the judicial officers to cleanse themselves to save the money, to save the name of judiciary right there. And so that is something that you need to know in regards to the Judicial Service Commission and also what the Chief Justice can really give here. All right, new twist in DFCU Bank Master Electronics case, and so this is something that you need to know. And China Africa banks to finance that is 11 trillion East African community debt. Nabanja meet fails to end a doctor's strike right there. What is here? A meeting held on Thursday between striking doctors and government officials failed to resolve a pay dispute. Specialized doctors want their pay raised to 11 million, whereas the senior house officers and qualified doctors training to become specialists are striking over arrears of 4 to 6 months that have not been paid. Dr. Herbert Loswata, who is the secretary of Uganda Doctor Association, said that the meeting, which was chaired by Prime Minister Robin Rabanja and attended by Ministry of Health officials, and Ministry of Public Service, did not yield anything. Dr. Loswata said their main issues concerning money, here were not addressed, but instead worse suggestions came up. He said the Prime Minister insisted that the government has no budget to resolve the salary dispute and no promises would be made. She instead asked them to go back to work as negotiations continue. And so he noted that on the issue of the interns, the OPM said they reached a decision with the university vice chancellors and deans that government only pays allowances to government students and the private students continue to sponsor their own internship, which doctors rejected, saying that it is discriminatory, and he vowed that the strike would continue. Emmanuel Obiona, who is the spokesperson, Minister of Health, he says here that dialogue is the best way to resolve any issues, and that cabinet is set to decide on the doctors' pending issues on Monday today. And so we are waiting. What will the cabinet discuss in regards to the doctors' strike? And remember, if the doctors continue to strike, it will really, come down to the wananchi, because for those who are well off and they have the money, they don't trade themselves here in our country, Uganda. They have the money to fly their relatives, friends, in-laws, children out of the country. And so who are the people who suffer? It is they are the wananchi that we do have here in our country, Uganda. We cannot afford even to go to the national referral hospital that we do have here in our country, Uganda. And so that is something that you need to know. And we call upon the government of the Republic of Uganda, as cabinet sits today. I believe that they will also be able to have a discussion around this issue of the striking doctors. Their issues need to be resolved. As a country, we have a lot of money. Sometimes we don't know our priority. That's according to me, because nobody should really tell you that there's no money. Patrick Bitature, one of the successful business persons in our country, Uganda, here did say the other time that Uganda has got a lot of money. If these, you see mushrooming churches and pastors trying to, preach, false hopes, they're trying to preach false hope to people, and you see people giving money, and they drive luxurious cars, and they stay in a nice residence, and here the people who give them money, they are really in abject poverty. And who are the people giving this money? They are these Ugandans, the poor Ugandans, giving money to these men of God to live luxurious life. And those are words of Patrick Bitature. He says Uganda has got a lot of money. You go to the betting centers and you see these people collect over 5 billion daily. And we don't want to know about that. So government should really, try to channel its priority properly, and it's something that you need to know right there in regards to that particular meeting that took place right there. Fresh details emerge about killer officer who killed, that is the Indian business person right there. Government opens diverse cases to public eye. It's also something that you need to know. And then also you have to know that Gimadu, who is the model servant of North Mbale, diocese arrest, is also another thing that government defense revised that to 52 trillion budget. So remember, government of the Republic of Uganda is planning to, that is table, that is a 52 trillion budget for the financial year 2023-2024 is another news that you need to know right there. Dear viewer, let's go for a break, and when we come back, we still have more for you right here on Western Television. I will be diving into what is happening in the world of sports as well towards the end of this particular program. But for now, let's go for a break, and we will be coming right back. Good morning.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
Get more for less on Star Times this Easter season. Cartoon channel for best children entertainment. New global series. Local drama on Makula TV and football all around the world. Simply make weekly or monthly subscription and enjoy upgrade to the next bouquet. For classic or super bouquet customers, subscribe for a month and enjoy 5 days extra. Family time with Star Times. Star Times is regulated by UCC.
Nile TV, lighting up the region.
All right, we'll be back. You're still watching Western Television. My name is Denis and it's a Kokoliriko show. Let me give you more updates right here. 14 minutes past over 8 a.m. You have to know that at least 2 Uganda People's Defense Forces soldiers attached to the Uganda Revenue Authority were on Friday evening, injured in Zombo Town Council during clashes with the angry Boda riders right there. So the incident happened when the soldiers were in an operation to impound that is unregistered motorcycles that are common at the border towns of Zombo district. And so Uganda Revenue Authority's Northern Region Customs Manager Sylvester Kiwanuka confirmed that the tax body's car and 2 soldiers were stoned by Boda riders. And so, quoting him, saying that the incident happened in Zombo district when our enforcement teams were stoned by residents while trying to cause an arrest on unregistered motorcycle. Unfortunately, 2 of our enforcement teams were injured by the angry residents right there. Uganda Revenue Authority has long battled with the Zombo district Boda riders in the bid to collect taxes, although some of the riders complained of the high taxes in acquiring number plates that go for about 1.3 million right there. According to one of the Boda riders in the area, it is true that most of the youth are operating Boda business with the numberless motorcycles from Democratic Republic of Congo due to the high cost of acquiring a number plate in Uganda. Is it true or false? I think it is up to us to analyze this. And so the Boda rider Charles Bitum adds that he got a shilling 3 million loan from the Imyoga Group Sacco and crossed to Democratic Republic of Congo, where he bought a numberless motorcycle with the plan to start processing the Uganda number plate. The motorcycle was impounded after 3 months, making me unemployed. The government should reduce the cost of acquiring, that is the number plate, to at least 750,000. And this will make many to acquire the number plates, that is according to Bitum right there. Zombo Town Council, LC3 Chairman, that is Naftali Oshama, has urged the residents to desist from attacking revenue collectors since taxes are the best for development. Last month in Parombo Town Council, 2 Boda riders were seriously injured following scuffles between Uganda Revenue Authority enforcement and Boda riders who lacked number plates. Parombo Town Council LC3 chairperson, that is Ronald Tomwa, is now encouraging Uganda Revenue Authority to sensitize Boda riders on processes leading to, that is, the number plate acquisition right there. In March 2021, one officer attached to Uganda Revenue Authority, only identified as Sergeant Amin, died after he was beaten as he was addressing Zombo district residents regarding rampant smuggling of goods from Democratic Republic of Congo and South Sudan. Uganda Revenue Authority says it loses about 3 billion annually in uncollected tax due to illicit trade in the West Nile sub-region, is the information that you have to know right there this morning. All right, and so that is some of the stories that we do have for you this morning from the Daily Monitor, and we also have for you from the New Vision this morning. And so what do you need to know in the New Vision this morning is what you have to also know right here on Western Television. All right, and now in New Vision we do have these stories that is coming through here that you need to know, as you have known from the Daily Monitor in regards to what we really have for you this morning. And so the issue of the shooting of the Indian business person right there in Kampala is also one of the stories that I cannot really miss out here in this New Vision. And so President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni was very bitter when he got this news of the businessman, shot dead in Kampala. And so President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni said, no, this cannot happen. And so the officer has to be traced and, he has to be got. So in the New Vision, the lorry carrying mourners from, that is Ngola Barrio overturns, 2 dead, and this is also another one. The truck Isuzu Tipper carrying mourners, mostly hailing from Oluku in Arua City, lost control overturn near Yago Bridge. And so the story has also featured in the New Vision today. And also you have to know that 22 people killed in Somalia floods, that's according to the United Nations, is also another thing that you need to know right this morning. And also on the international scene, you have to know that Turkey braces for momentum runoff after election drama. I think is something that we need to know it's taking place. So this Drogon sounded triumphant as they emerged before a sea of supporters shortly after midnight to proclaim himself ready to lead the nation for another 5 years. Almost complete results from Turkey's most important election of its post-Ottoman era showed Erdogan in power since 2003 and undefeated in more than a dozen national votes, falling just short of the 50% threshold needed to win right there. And so he also claimed his Islamic ruling party and its ultra-nationalist allies had captured a near majority in parliament. Figures from the Anadolu state news agency showed Erdogan picking up 49.3% of the vote. Opposition leader Kemal was trailing with, that is, 45%, a disappointing outcome after what we call later pre-election polls had shown that is in the lead right there. And so that's what is taking part in Turkey in as far as election is really concerned. And so we pray for peaceful election right there in Turkey. And so that is something that you need to know outside Uganda right there for you. And so that is what I felt it is important that I should also be able to bring to your attention. Also, you have to know that chaotic for a while at the U.S. border as rules change, and that is according to the Biden right there, that things seem not to be working well. And thousands have already entered the United States, squeezing through the halls that pockmark the division between the world's wealthiest country and its poorer neighbor, and a spike in asylum claims is expected right there. And so tens of thousands of people are massing at border crossing points awaiting the expiration of so-called the Title 42 overnight Thursday, that is into Friday. Thousands have already entered the United States, squeezing through the halls that pockmark the division between the world's wealthiest country and its poorer neighbor, and a spike in asylum claims is expected. The Texan cities of El Paso, Brownsville, and Laredo have declared a state of emergency as they struggle to cope with hundreds of people, most from Latin America, some from China, Russia, and Turkey, who are already there. And so that is what you need to know, that we have countries in this world that they have decided to construct a wall, to stop others from even, crossing into their country. But for our country, Uganda, I think Uganda is one of the free countries that we do have in the world. You can enter from any point you want to enter without somebody disturbing you, and you can really survive in Uganda, even if you're a fool, as President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni did say some times back, that a fool is only a fool that cannot survive in our country, Uganda. Even fools do survive here. And so Uganda is one of the peaceful countries that we do have. If you are to see what is happening in America, as people really squeeze to enter through what we call the pockmark to enter into United States, is something that you have to know. I didn't know that poor countries are also in America and also other developed countries that we do have. But let me tell you, the number of asylum seekers who are getting into United States of America, creating that state of, slum as well. So there are also slums in America, for your information, and there are areas that you need to know, like Los Angeles. And so these are areas that we have very many Africans who are living right there. And some of them as casual laborers who are working in different, places in America, and also working at people's homes. And so once you live, like today, if I leave Uganda and go to America, somebody will think that Denis Oringi is doing something good in America. I will also be surviving like other people who are surviving right outside. 22 minutes past the hour of 8 a.m. right here on Western Television. Let's go for a break, and when we come back, we still have more in the world of sports. What happened to Nebi Central yesterday in the game that was played between Nebi Central and Kochi Urban? I will be diving into that later on. Let's go for a break, and we will be coming right back. Good morning.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
Get more for less on Star Times this Easter season. Cartoon channel for best children entertainment. New global series. Local drama on Makula TV and football all around the world. Simply make weekly or monthly subscription and enjoy upgrade to the next bouquet. For classic or super bouquet customers, subscribe for a month and enjoy 5 days extra. Family time with Star Times. Star Times is regulated by UCC. Get more for less on Star Times this Easter season. Cartoon Channel for Best Children Entertainment. New global series. Local drama on Makula TV and football all around the world. Simply make weekly or monthly subscription and enjoy upgrade to the next bouquet. For classic or super bouquet customers, subscribe for a month and enjoy 5 days extra. Family time with Star Times. Star Times is regulated by UCC.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
All right, a very great morning to you. Thank you very much for joining us. Let us get into what is happening in the world of sports this morning at 26 minutes past over 8 a.m. right on Western Television. Let's start from that is the West Nile Regional League that was played yesterday. The final was between that is Kochi Urban all the way from Yumbe and also Nebi Central all the way from Nebi Municipality. The game went down in favor of that is Kochi Urban beating the municipality guys. The Royals right there, the Royal boys yesterday, things did not go on well on their side, and so it was really so disappointing for the Nebi Central team and also Nebi Central supporters who came in big number right here in Arua, and so Ababat Greenlight Stadium was full to its capacity. Majority people from Nebi, and according to the talks that was around, you know, the pitch was that majority of people wanted Nebi Central to qualify for another playoff that will see them going through to that is the FUFA Big League, and so it is not automatic that Kochi Urban is through to the FUFA Big League. They still have some games that they're supposed to play with the teams on the other side of the north, and so it will be from there that they will be able to get the finalists, and they will be playing. So I know from the Asholi side they also have the teams that have really qualified. Lang also have, and so they will have to play among themselves and see how they can really continue to go through to the FUFA Big League. It's not easy to reach a FUFA Big League, my dear. Yeah, you can win the West Nile Regional League final, but for you to qualify to go to FUFA Big League, it's another hurdle right there. So I wish Kochi Urban well, and once they also beat the teams that they're about to play, they will be able to qualify to FUFA Big League, and that will be good news for us, the people of West Nile. Remember, we have also Calvary from that is Midigo in Yumbe district that is playing in the FUFA Big League, and according to the log, I think they will be able to continue to play in FUFA Big League right there. But a team like a Human Town Council might not be able to survive. They might be, ousted from the FUFA Big League, and they will also either create a space for Kochi Urban or for a team that will really play Kochi Urban in their playoff final right there to qualify for Big League qualifiers. And so we will be waiting to see how the game will be going down right there. But the game played yesterday, I think Nebi Central tried their best. If we talk about statistics and also the performance, I think Nebi Central did display the talents that they have in as far as playing game. But what was very hard for them was scoring because the goalkeeper for Kochi Urban, the gentleman, was really tough at the in between the sticks, and he couldn't really allow a ball to go past him, and that's why it was very hard for Navy Central players to score right there. But Coach Aban, guys who live in the rural areas of West Nile, they were able to show the people of Navy municipality that you people, even if we play in that village, we can still emerge, winners of this particular game. And they played their game. You know how village people play. I am not saying that they are villagers, but they really showed how they can really beat the people who are always, on bigger screen watching football each and every time. For them, they watch football once in a while, and so they were able to play in a traditional game, a very long one. Then you have to run and face the goalkeeper, and so they were able to manage it right there. And Western Television was able to broadcast for you the game live right there, and so we do appreciate very much that effort. It is once in a while. I think it's the first of its kind that Western Television and also Western Regional League final was broadcast, and so we shall continue to better our coverage in terms of football, and we also call for support from the members of the public, the business persons who want to join and support Western Television and also Western Regional League in saying that we always bring for you the game live to serve those who cannot be able to come physically to watch the game from the pitch. And that's something that you have to know. You have to know that Uganda Secondary School Sports Association, the games are going on in Fort Portal and Barara, and so the girls are in Barara, and then the ladies are the girls are in Barara, and then the gentlemen, they are playing right in Fort Portal. And so I think by the end of this week the game will be done, and we shall be seeing the teams coming back to their districts. And so different schools are selected from different districts that are playing the Uganda Secondary School sports game right there. And so that's something that you need to know. I think the thing is not going well with the West Nile schools that are really taking part in the games that are being played right the other side. I think I will take time to look into how the West Nile schools are really performing. Don't forget Waste of Time Lavdi, Football went together with that is Susie, not forgetting Benson. They will be making analysis of the games going down in Fort Portal and Barara as far as Uganda Secondary School, fresh dairy ball games are really concerned. And we have to know in rugby, some schools are doing well, some schools are really good when it comes to playing rugby, and so more of that will be analyzed during the sport hour, the whistle time, with Fudib Owen and Lady Susie right there. Let's get to more stories this morning. In Premier League yesterday, Arsenal suffered suffered in the hands of that is Brighton and Hove Albion, where they were really defeated 3-0, and so it was quite unfortunate for the Arsenal fans and also the Arsenal players, the like of Saka. The way the gentleman stood, he was not really himself in the pitch, and the thing never went well for him. And so you have to know that Manchester City on brink of title as Brighton and Hove Albion trump Arsenal right there. And so Manchester City want to win away from the Premier League title thanks to Brighton, and Hove Albion's merited 3-0 win over Leicester Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium. A couple of hours from the champions, the 3-0 win at that is Everton. Julio Enciso, Denziz Undav and the Pavist Estopian put Mikel Arteta's meek men to the sword in North London by the same scoreline as Roberto Di Zabi men virtually extinguished their host hopes of top flight glory. There was no love lost between the two clubs. Instead, the opening 10 minutes as Gabriel Martinelli clattered into Karu Mitoma, striking the Japanese attackers in the face with his elbow before Moise Caicedo retaliated for his teammate by skiting down the Arsenal man from behind. And so surprisingly, neither challenge warranted further punishment from Andy Madley. And the early quarrels appear to benefit Brighton more than Arsenal, as and Cisco tried to pick up the top corner under pressure in the 12th minutes, and Aaron Ramsdale had to be alert to tip the Paraguayan's effort over at his near post. Just 4 minutes later, Martin Odegaard tried to replicate his sublime strike from last weekend's win over Newcastle United, but the Norwegian's long-range shot, trickled put past the post. Johnson still had it covered anyway. During this time, Martinelli was still moving ginkily after the Coicedo challenge, and the Brazilian race was run, after just 20 minutes as Lindro Trossard came on against his former employers, is something that you need to know right there. And so it's quite unfortunate right there for Team Arsenal, and I know they are really yawning at this particular time. When you look at the table standing in Premier League this morning, you have to know that Manchester City is number 1 with that is 85 points, and they have played 35 games. It means that they still have 1 game at hand to catch up with Arsenal number of games that Arsenal have so far played. Right, the Arsenal is number 2 with 81 points. So the point difference between Manchester City and Arsenal is 4. And so how will Arsenal be able to manage it? They have to play 2 games for Arsenal to really catch up with Manchester City. And so that means that the games that Manchester City will be playing, they should be beaten. The 2 games, they should be beaten in 2 games for Arsenal to have the upper hand. But it is going to be quite a little bit very hard for Manchester City players to allow this to happen. So that means that they will not be able to allow the teams that they to play to really defeat them, as it is the case. And so Arsenal is moving towards playing of all their games. Remember, they have played already, that is 36. I think they have around 2 games to play for them to really to become successful. Meanwhile, for Manchester City, they still have around 3 games to be played for them to really carry on with the title and the crown the champion of Uganda, the crown champion of that is the English Premier League. Right, the Liverpool is number 5, and so for the Liverpool supporters, things are not working well. And Newcastle is number 3 with that is 66 points, but they cannot really do any magic to catch up with Arsenal. And that's also that good news for the people who do support Arsenal, that Arsenal will continue to maintain that position if they will not be able to make it in the 2 games that they are remaining to play. And so that means that they will still continue to be number 2 in the Premier League. Right, the number 4 is Manchester United. This time they have really tried their level best to move away from where they was, and so it is not good only for Chelsea. Chelsea is still Chelsea is number 11, and I think not among even the top 10. And so this is quite unfortunate for Team Chelsea right there. And so number 4 is Manchester United, number 5 Liverpool, number 6 is Brighton and Hove Albion, number 7 is Tottenham Hotspur, and then number 8 is Aston Villa. Brentford is number 9, and then Fulham number 10, and then Chelsea number 11. This time around, Chelsea seem not to be doing well, and that's why the number of supporters have also reduced for Chelsea, by the way, for your information. But there are those Chelsea diehards who continue to support Chelsea, even if they are not among the top 10 teams that are really performing well in Premier League table right there. Number 12 is Crystal Palace, and then number 13 is Wolverhampton Wanderers. Number 14 is Bournemouth, and then number 15 is West Ham United. Number 16 is Nottingham Forest, and then number 17 is Everton. Leeds United is number 18, and then Leicester City is number 19, and then relegation line is Southampton. And so Southampton is sitting last in number 20 with only 30 points. And so this time around with 24 points, and so Southampton, things are not working well for them. This is my first time to see Southampton dropping drastically to that number. They used to perform very well. They used to be among the top 5, and then also coming down between they're among the top 10 teams in Premier League. And so this time around things are not well for them right there. We pray for them that maybe God will also work their way through so that they can also really reach at a certain level. When we talk about the team news, I think people want to know what is happening in as far as the team news are really concerned. When I talk about the team news, I talk about what you need to know. That some games that are supposed to be played either today or also tomorrow. But Mikel Arteta says, I apologize to Arsenal fans for letting them down. And so this is coming from Mikel Arteta. And so what is he saying to some of the Arsenal fans? He's saying here that he apologized to that is Gunners in the wake of their crashing 3-0 Premier League defeat to that is Brighton and Hove Albion, which effectively ended their hopes of top flight glory. The Gunners were second best all afternoon against Roberto De Zerbi's inspired troops, who battled to a deserved win thanks to that is Julio and Cisco together with that is Pavis Estupian, who tried their best, and so things never worked on well for them right there. Let's get to transfer. Who wants to know things in the transfer, who is going where, and so you have to really stay awake. Also, you have to know here that Barcelona win La Liga title by beating Espanyol in Catalan derby is also another news that you need to know. And you have to know Manchester City move 4 points exactly as submitted with the win over Everton is also another news that you need to get in the world of sports this morning, right, dear viewer. All right, dear viewer, with that, what is happening in the world of sports, we have come to the end of our Kokoliriko show this morning, and we thank you very much for being with us, and we do appreciate you very much for always waking up together with Western Television. We shall continue to give you each and every information that you need to know right here on Western Television. Don't forget that the programs will be following suit right here on Western Television, and don't forget that exactly 7 p.m. English news will be coming your way with Christine Okumoringa, as she will be letting you know what is happening in the world of news right there. As Western Television, we continue to better our services and also improve in other programming that we do have. Remember, more programs are being rolled out, and so let's all join hands to support the new programs that do come up right here on Western Television. For those who want to reach us for businesses, you can reach us using contacts scrolling right there, or visit us at plot 39A Weatherhead Park Lane here in Arua City, or you can really write to us using the email that is scrolling on your screen, and also the numbers that we do have for businesses, and we shall be able to really, have a conversation with you. And also do not forget to follow me on my Twitter handle, that is Oringi Denis, Oringi, Francis 11, that is the handle right there. And also follow me on Facebook, Oringi Denis, and also YouTube, that is Oringi Reports, and that is my YouTube handle right there. And also you can as well follow Western Television YouTube page, Facebook, and also Twitter handle for you to get each and every update each and every time. And also follow Western Television WhatsApp group that has been created each and every time. They always give for you the QR code that is put for you on the screen. What you need to do is just only to scan, and then you just join the WhatsApp group automatically. In case you have any conversation, any concern that you want to raise, the WhatsApp group is right there for you to have your say. As one of the fan and also supporter for Western Television, and also the ardent viewer for Western Television right there. Let's go. Thank you very much for being with us. Good morning.